is up, everyone? Welcome back to the What If channel. We are live. I'm here today as your host, Richie. I am here with my wonderful, awesome co-host.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Good to be back.
Well, yeah, do you want to say your name?
Oh, it's right there. It's Alex,
Yeah? Yeah,
Yeah.
your triumphant return, finally.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously, I'm happy you're back. Anywho, we are here today for a very special video that we'd actually been planning. We were gonna do this after Survivor 49, and unfortunately some unfortunate life events on my end kind of prevented this. So people in the comments can bitch at me about that. But we're here for casting Survivor Winners at War 2. We're very excited to do this. And I think we should get started. I'll just explain a little bit of how this is going to work. So obviously there are 11 women who are in the pool to be selected for this. And there are, I think, when I counted 16 men, I believe, when I counted this for research purposes. And yeah, so there'd be people who we would want to be hungry for war, for Winners at War 2. And the big things with this also, we are doing 12 people in each tribe, 6 men, 6 women. And the thing we have with this is that one of the women would be from the original Winners at War, and we agreed that I would be the one to pick that woman coming back. So all the women essentially will be selected, and another woman from before. But then there'll be one. I think there'll be like 4 men who wouldn't be picked who weren't on the original Winners at War. It's complicated, but we wanted to do a larger cast because we thought that'd be really more fun to do and to include a lot more fun names and give a lot of I don't remember the word right now. I can't. That comment threw me off. I also will give a warning. I feel a little under the weather today for people watching, so if I sound like shit, that's what it is. And I will find a way to incorporate some of our usual bits and shit. So try to think. So I think, is there anything I forgot, Alex?
No, I think we're all good to go.
All right. Well, I think we can get started. So did we decide who was picking first, actually?
We'll just do me because it was my idea, I guess. We'll just do that.
Oh, it was my. Okay, you know what? Okay.
I just wanted to see if I can throw you off there. No, it was your idea.
I was about to say, oh shit.
Just don't take them. That's all. Just don't take them.
Don't take who? I didn't plan a list for this. Actually, this time I actually did not plan a list.
I know. I'm just.
Don't. Oh my. Okay. You know what? Okay. So let's get started, Alex. And Ice Rose, I had the wrong bumper on the last like 2 minutes. It said thank you for watching because I didn't change it from the last one. So my must.
Nice.
Y'all, this is gonna be so much fun today. I am out of this. Okay, Alex, I'm just gonna let you go first before I ramble on for another 3 minutes.
Oh, I do it first. Nice.
What, you just said you wanted first.
Yeah. So for my first guy, I'm taking a player who did so good on his winning season. He, swept the whole jury and got all votes for him. I'm taking John Cochran as my first player. I'm taking.
Ooh.
Yes, he was really. People really wanted him back for Winners at War, and he is officially retired from the game now. He said in podcasts and interviews. But one last run for Cochran, I feel like would have been kind of fun to see because he had a crazy run in Kermoan where he was just kind of destroying everybody on the social side with his gameplay, and obviously swept the jury because of his great gameplay. So one last run with all winners would be so fun to see Cochran play. But yeah, that's why he's number 1 for me.
All right, thank you for that, Alex. I assume we're going with the men first then.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's not going to be much suspense with the women, so let's do the men first. So I did not really pick a lot of the I really didn't like make a list this time for this because I've been very busy with a lot of stuff lately. So I didn't get a chance to really form a list, but the men I really wanted, I also feel like there weren't a lot of options for the men as well that I didn't assume you were going to take. But I still, because I don't know who Alex is picking, and I don't even know who I'm picking, but there is a winner who I really love. I really think he played a really great game in his season, and I really wanted to try to find a way to again guarantee that I was one who got this person, a really phenomenal player who should have been back, and despite some random bullshit claims, actually could have been brought back for Winners at War, and production just chose not to. That's Todd from Survivor China. I love Todd. I mean, he's one of the only two like gay winners the show has ever openly gay winners the show has had to my knowledge. Um, Todd's a great player. He had a masterclass final tribal. Like people, I think have based final tribals on him in the past. Like Todd's a phenomenal player, and he definitely more than deserves his flowers, and he more than deserves his time to get back in the game. So, with that in mind, I'm picking Todd. Not to mention it is Pride Month. And how bad would it look if I didn't try to pick a gay man? No, I'm kidding. No, I actually genuinely do love Todd. I do love Todd, and I do love him as a player, a game, and a character. And I really hope he gets a chance to come back to TV someday because he's just an icon. So, Alex, it's your turn.
I am glad you picked Todd first because I was really thinking you would be picking this next person who, again, almost had a perfect game. I'm picking Earl from Fiji.
Oh,
Again,
that's a
another
really good
person
one.
who, Jeff reached out to for Winners at War, but he couldn't due to circumstances. But again, I would
Yeah,
love to
his
see
wife's baby.
Earl play one more time because he had an incredible game in Fiji, and I feel like there's been a lot of time since his last game he played, and like I would just love to see how he has adapted to this new style of gameplay that has been made, and like he's a fun winner, very calm and collected guy, and it'd be kind of fun to see how all these new twists and turns kind of affect him in the game. So yeah, that's my pick.
I like it. This is another pick for my next second pick for the 6 men I get in my tribe. It's really going to be hard to kind of narrow some of it down, but I really want some old school representation on my tribe. Because I would really love to get a good chunk of old school reps in my tribe. And the guys, it's very hard. But there is one guy who I do think fits a very, very good masterclass game. You would say, it's if he has a bow and arrow aimed at your head. Chris Daughtery, season 9, Vanuatu. That's my next pick. If those of you who don't remember the final challenge, that's what I was referencing to. Although it basically was as if he was holding like a freaking bow and arrow, like at people's heads. Like, I mean, honestly, like I really enjoyed so much watching Chris play the game. And just really enjoying like just watching all of this so many fun stuff he does. He's just such a fun character. Like one of my favorite moments. And if I would have won immunity and Survivor Wisconsin Heroes vs. Villains 2, I literally would have did what he did at Final Four. Like, yes, I got it, yes. Like I would have did that and rubbed it in everyone's faces, like jokingly, of course, lovingly, of course, rubbed it in, but like yeah, Chris Daughtery is my second pick, and I just think he's such a fun character. Like literally moments in there, he's already leaning into the theme because I assume he probably knew it was gonna get him camera time if you lean into the theme, but like he's just such a fun character, and like I honestly just do not think this season would be right without Chris Daughtery coming back just as a fun character of a very underrated season has become more and more popular over the years. Like I know friends of mine who've come up to me and literally word for it said that Vanuatu is their favorite season, and yes, I also have the DVD players on set. I do need to get some buffs from Vanuatu because I also love that season. Amy and Eliza are icons. Chris Daughtery is an icon. Twilight and Scout, just his dynamic with all of them, how he convinces them to just get rid of their entire women's alliance and get rid of them one by one until he's the last one standing. It's impressive. So Sorry, went on too long for it. My
Yeah,
second pick is Chris Daughter.
yeah, he played one probably in my eyes like the most underrated game ever. You know, going from zero to hero, come merge. It was so fun to watch. Um, for my next pick, I'm also gonna stay old school on this one and go with Richard Hatch from Borneo. Um,
Ooh, Richard Hatch.
you know, he should have been on Winners at War. I feel like he was the first winner, and I feel like that theme matches him. Again, minus the whole controversy with All Stars and stuff like that. So of course, he was kind of blacklisted, kind of from the game.
Yeah.
But take away all the controversy and stuff like that. He is again the first winner. He kind of made the pathway for people to how they should play this game. And without him, like the game would be completely different, probably. So I feel like having him on an all-winter season would have been fun to watch, and just the way he played the game is just kind of also fun to watch. So yes, I'm picking Richard Hatch as my third pick.
I like it. There's a lot of really fun characters and players that type. Gosh damn it. For people watching who don't get this joke, Richard Hatch was I think it was 2005. He was convicted of like tax fraud, for not paying his it was tax fraud or some type of tax crime for not paying his taxes for the winners, for his winnings in Borneo, and got caught for it. And it was a long legal battle that prevented him from playing a lot of stuff. He actually was called for Heroes versus Villains and couldn't play. He was called for Redemption Island and wasn't allowed time to go out and play. And yes, Steve, happy Pride Month. Thank you, Steve. But yeah, that's what the joke was mainly referring to with Richard Hatch, because I know some people to this day still don't fully know that full story, which I think is actually wild that some people don't know it with how popular it's kind of been cemented in like media over the years. So, with that in mind, my next pick, there's a lot of really great characters in the old era. There's a lot of great characters in the new era, and there's a lot of great characters all around, great winners. And I want to try to get representation from all different facets of Survivor. And it's definitely very hard because with some areas of Survivor, there's really not a lot of like choices to pick. I do feel confident with this pick because I didn't think you were gonna pick him, but I know like you going Cochran first. I didn't think you'd go for Cochran for a while. So my next pick, I'm gonna get him before you take him. I'm gonna take Fabio from Nicaragua, and I will say, Survivor Nicaragua. I think I've said this probably numerous times. Nicaragua was the first season I ever watched. In general, the second it was the first time I ever watched it. I think it was like a couple years after it came out. It was on Amazon Prime Video, if people remember that. Yeah, and it was one of the 4 seasons that was free, being Nicaragua, Redemption Island, South Pacific, and One World. So I got stuck with like the Dark Ages. That's like my first 4 seasons. And I loved watching Fabio. Like, he was just a lot of fun to watch on there. His little like, oh, you think I'm a dumbass, but I'm smarter than you think I am. That was just so much fun to watch. And I honestly just think it was just so great to kind of get this comeuppance to everyone who thought he was just dumb, not playing the game, from to dominate the end game and basically have a lot of control over the end game and kind of what happened, mostly because he had immunity. But like, I really think it'd be great to see him in a future season, see how he would look like as a more mature Fabio, and how he would look like being more mature and being able to say like, hey, like, could I actually dominate the game? And on the off chance he would actually run the game, how funny would that be? Like, if he actually ended up running the game this time around, openly being like, hey, I'm smarter than all of you. Like, I love Fabio. He's just funny and he's hot. So, Fabio is my third pick. Aleks, who's your third pick?
My fourth pick, actually.
Fourth pick. Sorry. Yeah, like I've been under the weather. That's
my fourth pick is also somebody from kind of the newer era of the game. He played an incredible game, very dominant in immunities, come post merge. I'm picking Mike Holloway. He was also
Oh,
in
I forgot
contention to be
him.
back on Winners at War, but didn't end up on it. But again, I feel like him. If he gets another shot at playing the game, he's gonna play a bit differently going into the game. He has learned from his. He probably learned from his mistakes in the first game he played, and again, the characters probably wouldn't be as toxic as they were in Worlds Apart. But
Hopefully.
yeah, again, I feel like Mike, he is a player who is good in both assets of the game, and that he is kind of this like all around like player that can do good in challenges, can do good at around camp, and can do good socializing with people and keeping the target off his back. So yeah, that's why my fourth pick, I'm picking Mike.
That's a really solid pick. Oh, I knew there was someone from the 21 to 30 range. I just forgot. I knew there was another guy in there, and I just could not remember. But Mike was honestly such a fun winner. I did like Mike in Worlds Apart.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's definitely just he was a bright light in that season, and I think it's pretty much funny that everyone back then pretty much said that like Jeff almost spoiled Worlds Apart because he basically glazed Mike in the pregame stuff. And when it came time to the game, everyone saw how bad the season was, how big of an edit Mike got, and they're like, "Yeah, of course Mike's winning." Like, but fun fact, I forgot if you did mention this before, but Mike actually initially was supposed to be on Winners at War, and so was Tina. And at the last minute, they both got cut out of nowhere. I don't know who they got cut in favor of, but I honestly kind of wish they would have been on. Like, I mean, that would have been a great closing chapter for Tina.
yep.
It would have been a great second run for Mike, especially because I think he said he may not want to play it anymore. Well, I hope he's wrong and he does want to play. Like if he gave him like 5 years and then call him again, he'll probably change his mind. Be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll play. But I don't know. Mike is just definitely one of my favorite winners though. So, and
Yeah,
yeah, he definitely would have been better than like.
Nick.
I love how we both said at the same time. We both knew where I was going with that.
Yeah,
At least he would have made more sense in Winners at War, though. I mean, at least Nick makes more sense in Winners at War than Haley 4 does in Game Changers. Why? It makes no sense. Yeah. Seriously, it's Game Changers. Even Haley said it doesn't make sense. Change the theme to get her in, or at least have it a theme being like one tribe that is Game Changers, one tribe that is not. Traditional Game Changers rant over. Anyways, my fourth pick. My fourth pick is someone who, from the new era, I definitely wanted to make sure that I got. And someone who is, I think, it's just an all-around such a fun character, and someone who I'm surprised wasn't back on 50, considering how, even though he is like from a bad season of Survivor, or what some people refer to as a bad season of Survivor, I really think he's such a fun character, and that's Jam Jam. And it's just like, he's such a fun character that it's just like, how is he not on 50? Like, you know what I mean? He's such a great narrator. He will drive like conflicts in the season. He'll be so entertaining. He'll play the damn game. And just Jam Jam is just so entertaining. I actually met Jam Jam at Bryson 1 briefly. I didn't get a chance to get a picture with him. I love Jam Jam though. Like he's just so funny. Like, and again, how can you not have had him on 50? Replace Jonathan with Jam Jam. Like, there's a lot of people who should have replaced Jonathan with. But sorry. But yeah, it's just Jam Jam is such a great player, and the fact he was on Winners at War is surprising. So Jam Jam's my next pick.
All right. Now for my final pick. I'm between two people. What? Oh yeah, sorry, 6. My bad.
Yeah, so second to last pick. 5. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Second last pick.
Okay.
I am taking a player who has played twice. One his first time around, and then kind of got screwed on his initial tribe in his second chance. But I'm taking Tom from Palau.
Ooh, that's a solid pick.
He played a very dominant game in his first season, and then going to Heroes vs. Villains, he just kind of got crapped on by the tribe he kind of got dealt with. But again, even in Heroes vs. Villains, he was kind of the head of the tribe still in that season as well, until they kind of picked him off because they kind of had to. But yeah, again, like for an all winter season, he can blend in so well. Like see what like look like for like Colby on 50. Like he kind of blended in very well with the people he was around with. Unfortunately, he had a million things wrong with his body at that point, so he was just kind of a dead man walking. But Tom, like I totally can see him doing really good in an all winter season. So yeah, I'm picking Tom.
That's a solid pick, actually. I like that. Um, I do have my next pick, and it's someone who is from the 30s of Survivor, the Dirty 30s. And I think you know exactly where I'm going with this because there's only like one pick that is actually eligible for this. I'm picking Chris. I am picking Chris.
Underwood.
Underwood. Thank you. I did not remember his
Yeah.
name. I'm picking Chris Underwood. Um, And I really think that he is a lot better of a player than people give him credit for. He did realize, like, hey, this is what I need to do to guarantee myself the win. This is what I need to do to guarantee that, blah, 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 blah. But like Chris Underwood is a really solid player. And you even see him come back on the challenge and perform very well. He's a very solid strategist, a very solid, like, strategic player, a very solid physical player, a very solid social player. He knew what he had to do to get to the end and win. You can trash him all you want for the fact that he did, yes, get voted off on day 8 or 9 and had to fight back in at the last second. But it's also, I think, a part of that is just the content he was given as well. Edge of Extinction was not given a lot of content. If, say, more content, Edge of Extinction revolved around him a tiny bit more than it did around people who really just did not matter in the long run, I think definitely people would have felt more satisfied with his winning story. I think the issue is more so the fact that we weren't shown a lot of these conversations with him bonding with the people on the Edge of Extinction, showcasing his social game and why they loved him so much come Final Tribal. So I really think, I mean, Edge of Extinction, another Snyder cut, re-edit, whatever. But with that in mind, I do think Chris Underwood would be a solid pick. And I did want to try to get at least one pick from every like decade or 10 set or whatever of Survivor. So I think Chris would be a very solid pick. And I think, honestly, it'd be great to have him on a second run and see if he can play the perfect game that he said he really wanted to play. So I think it'd be very interesting, and I'd love to see him back. So, and he's hot. So, yeah. So your final pick, Alex.
Yeah, right now I'm between two. One has played 3 times. One has played twice. I'm going for the guy who has only played twice. I'm picking Aris from Panama. Um, and we see him kind of be in the shadows in Panama because Terry was such a big character, along with everybody else in that season who was a big character. Um, so he was kind of thrown into the background, but his winning season wasn't that bad at all either. Like he played a good game, and then come Blood versus Water, it kind of the theme kind of didn't help him in the long run with that season. But like he is a good player. He knows when to, and stay low and then attack. I feel like again in an all winter season, he can blend in very well with the, with the surroundings and play a good social game. Yeah, I feel like he would be a good fit for an all winter season.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Aris was a very solid player in Panama. I'm trying to remember. There's a couple things I was gonna say because like Blood versus Water, actually, people were speculating. I think that he pre-gamed. Well, everyone probably did. Um, but the big thing is that like, of course, I went pre-game. That's why Candace went out first because she and John were last second for RC and her dad. But the big thing though was that Ars, I think, knew Jervis outside the game at that point. I think that's why he was so upset that Jervis like betrayed him in the game. But I think a lot of the issue with Ars in Panama is that again he was like the boring glue guy and a tribe of like this chaos and Suri and Shane and Danielle and Courtney and it's just kind of Ars who's like sup. Like I
Yeah.
mean yeah, I mean Ars is still a very solid player and I do think he should get a chance to come back someday at some point. I do think he's earned a shot in the game at some point. I think it's been long enough to where it'd be interesting to see what he does. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm trying to think of because I have my the other thing I was gonna say about Ars. Yeah, did you see that? I think it was around Winners at War where Jeff's put up this letter for someone saying that this is why he really wanted them back, and how he's happy to get them back. He's like, I'm so happy you are playing Winners at War. And then Ars took a screenshot, because there was a screenshot that went all around social media. I think he sent it to Tyson or something, or Jeff sent it to Tyson, and Ars screenshot it and like rewrote parts of it as a joke, as like a meme, to say like Jeff Probst saying why he doesn't want Ars on Survivor again. And it was something really sarcastic. I forgot what it was, but like it was just the funniest thing ever. So if someone can find that, send it to me. That would actually make my day, because I just thought it was the funniest thing back then. But yeah, I really had trouble trying to think of my last pick for the men, because I really wanted to pick someone who I thought would just be very fun in the game. Someone who I thought would be a very fun player, very fun to like just have on the cast. And I think at this point, there's only like 5 picks I have left right now, and I don't really know. It's so hard. I don't really know. I am going to go with. There's like 2 in my head right now. I'm bouncing back and forth because I was convinced you were going to pick one of them. I am going to go with JT from Token Chains.
You have to.
Him or Kyle from 48, but like Kyle at least got to play 50.
Yeah.
He at least came back recently, and I know Kyle's gonna be coming back in the future, and we'll even talk a bit about Survivor 50 stuff in a few minutes, and a little bit. But yeah, JT, I'm surprised he wasn't on. Like, I think I know the reason why was because the rumor has it that apparently on the pre-jury trip in Game Changers, he tried to get like weed or some type of drugs from like one of the villagers on the pre-jury trip, and apparently it sounded like he got into legal trouble, and production had to bail him out of it or something, or production found out he had drugs and they were like pissed off with them. And I don't know if it fully blacklisted him from, because again, Game Changers was so recent up to that point of Winners at War, so I can't imagine they weren't too thrilled at him. But JT was like the first perfect winner. Yes, even though he's gone down every single season since then, he's also got more entertaining since then. He started fights over sugar. He'd get rid of idols and just hating the other tribe. Like, come on. Like, it's just so funny. Like, JT's a great player. Like, I really think it'd be great to see him play one more time and actually see if he can play the perfect game he once did and live up to that reputation again. JT's just such a fun player. So I would say JT is my final guy pick for this. And then we're going to go to the woman. For the girls, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? Because you went first for the guys.
You can go first.
All right. So I'm gonna see if I can fit it onto this large banner we have under us.
I think you just erase it and start with the women.
I think I'll pick. I think I'll do like another.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one, so we don't forget who the picks are. Because it's a very long pick for the guys for that little ticker banner down below.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, I really wanted to pick. One of my picks has to be someone from the original Winners at War, because that was kind of what we agreed on for this. We kind of like talked back and forth. I was like, okay, I'll be the one to pick it. I am gonna go with that pick first. There was someone I really wanted to pick beforehand, but I think she'll be there by the time I pick. And I swear to God, if you pick it, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. You better not. The first pick I'm gonna go with for Winners at War, I came down to 3 people who I really wanted, but I really wanted to get some more representation for this season, and that is Danny from Guatemala. And the thing with Danny is that Danny, I think, was a very interesting situation, whereas Danny said she did not want to come back unless it was Winners at War type season. And she finally gets back in, and it just gets voted off immediately. But the thing with Danny, too, is that there was a lot of shit that was not shown on camera that has been openly talked about, with how Danny got caught up in some lie from Parvati or something that came up at one point. I forget the full story, but if you go look up Danny's exit interview, there is a lot of stuff she talks about it that they did not show on screen with Danny, and how she wasn't playing she wasn't just like blabbing the alliance to everyone around her. And there was a lot of shit that wasn't shown, which is why I think looking into exit game press is very important because they'll leak out what production refuses to show. Like in Survivor 48, with how it really wasn't a dual season and how Eva was playing the game, and how she was forming relationships with people, and with how Joe was likely never winning because he pissed everyone off in 48 too. But that's a different story for a different time. But yeah, anyways, back to Danny. I do think Danny's just a fun player. She didn't like go under the radar. She beat the damn radar. So I do think having Danny back would be a very fun thing because then you could see her come back and be like, hey, I want to play the game I didn't get to play last Winners at War. And I think it'd be a really fun redemption story for Danny. And I think she could be a power player this time around. So that'd be my first pick. I had to get someone out of the way. So Danny. So with that in mind, Aleks, who is your first female pick for the Winners?
All right. So yeah, my first woman is going to be someone from the early seasons.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Okay.
I was muted. Sorry.
And I'm gonna pick Vesepia. She should have been on 40. She was well deserving of being on 40, even though her edit wasn't the best in Marquesas because they had other bigger names and bigger characters on that season. But her gameplay was really good. Like she orchestrated a lot of good blind sides and was part of this really good alliance. And then just the way she kind of maneuvered through the game and the final challenge where she had notes on everybody and won that. She's a really good player and she should have been back for another season. I don't know why she hasn't been, but
For Vesepia.
Vesepia.
Yeah, you never said the name.
Oh, I did.
Oh, I didn't hear you then. Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, Vesepia. Yeah. Yeah, she should be back for another season. I don't know why they refused to. But yeah, Vesepia is my first pick. All right, Richie. Oh, nice.
Gosh. Sorry, almost a mini nosebleed there for a second. That was fun. Anyways. Yeah, I had this pick. I was gonna pick her first. I wanted to pick someone who I really think didn't get the best opportunity to play in her second season either. And I really think that she's someone who I really loved in her original season, a lot more than other people did. And I do think the tribe could use someone who could be willing to be a little bit more cutthroat and villainous. I'm picking Savannah from Survivor 49. And I do think she's a solid pick. I mean, we even saw it in Survivor 50. She had the right mindset of the game. She was calling things out as it was. I think the rumor has it that Savannah was the one who wanted to target Sari first, and somehow that went out to Sari or went out to Jenna. But Savannah is a solid player. She's willing to make big shots, make big calls. She can make moves happen. Like she dominated 49. I really think Savannah would be such a fun pick on Winners at War 2. And I really hope we see Savannah on the season someday because Savannah Louie is her story is far from over. But yeah, Savannah is my second pick. Aleks, who's your second pick?
I'm staying old school here. I don't know why, but I just feel like old school's been my way this entire draft. I'm picking a player who first season again overshadowed by a lot of characters. Second season she played, unfortunately had to leave the game. I'm picking Jenna Maraska from Amazon. And again, it's been a lot of time since she has played last, and I feel like with a clear mind and going into a season of all winners, she can do again a damn good job. And now with the more formal and not totally crazy Amazon game that was. I feel like it'll be a bit more fun for her to play, and they won't have men clamoring for her the whole season. So yes, Jenna is my second pick, and I see Richie having a bat ready to be my ass. So I'm gonna write that down.
You little bitch! You stole my pick. I was gonna pick Jenna.
You picked Savannah second.
What do you say?
Oh, Savannah was I mean on my list. You could have gotten her like in like the sixth round.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay. There's someone that I really wanted to pick on this cast too for the women's side. And now I think I need to pick her before you take her. Someone who I really do genuinely think that is a great player and again should have been on Winners at War. Um, should have been on Winners at War. I'm surprised she wasn't. It's Tina.
Yep.
Tina was definitely one of my higher picks, anyways, and now I just had to make sure I got her. But yeah, Tina. No, like Tina's a great winner. She's an entertaining player. Even like her last season, Blood vs. Water, like she had some funny moments too. Like her trying to like what was it? Not like marry off Katie DeVitas, but like she was like, "Oh, I want grandkids" and all that. Just making these funny jokes about it, and then just her whole Redemption Island arc was just so much fun the second half of the game, and her getting bitter and finally getting pissed off at someone in Blood vs. Water. That's her last season alone. Like every time she plays, she's just such a fun player. And honestly, I feel like she is somewhat relatable for some of the older women out there who want to play Survivor. Like she is like almost like the spokesperson for why older women can play Survivor and be successful. And I do think Tina's just such a fun player. And I do think, sorry, I do think Tina is someone who should be back at some point in the future. I don't think she has many opportunities to come back just because, unfortunately, due to age. But again, she is someone who should have been back at this point. Like whether it's 50, 40, before, she should have come back at least one more time at this point and just yeah, Tina is my third pick. Aleks, who's your third pick?
My third pick is going to be somebody from the new era. Um, and her game, um, it's been like talked about a bit. Like does she really deserve the win due to the amount of stuff that she was, the amount of lifelines that she was given in the game? I'm picking Rachel from 47. She played a really good post merge game. She knew the targets that had to get out, and she knew where she kind of stood a lot because people kept telling her stuff to her. Um, and the way she kind of survived and came back from the Operation Italy move was fantastic on her part. And again, sure, she got the advantage from Saul that saved her ass on that tribal. But the way she again moved forward from that and kind of got herself in with a lot of people come the post merge was great. And she sure I was rooting for Sam and Andy to win, but I was satisfied with Rachel winning after reflection. So she good winner. She it looks like she would love to go back into the game in the future. So yeah.
I actually will say I always loved Rachel as a winner. Like I think Rachel just has such a unique story that a lot of winners don't have, being the people who were able to force their way to the end. Except with Rachel, I feel like she's the best one of these people because even when she wasn't immune, she was able to find ways to like keep herself safe and in the game. And I feel like she's a really underrated player who I would love to see come back. And like Chris Underwood, see if she can play the game that she intended to play, like not relating to like winning out or anything of that sort. And like Rachel, again, it's just such a fun player. She tied the record for most challenges won by a woman too, right? I believe she did, right?
I think I think she tied it if I'm not
Yeah, I think
wrong.
she tied it because I know it's Kelly, Jenna, Kim, Kelly, Jenna, Kim, Chrissy, Rachel, and Savannah, I believe. Let me double check it right now before I say my next pick. But
But yeah, no, she's somebody who again on an all winter season she could do good and she can blend in with a lot of people and kind of make it submerge and kind of do what she did last time and actually assess who are the threats and who she can kind of hide behind until she has to make her move then. So
yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, and I just looked it up. She did actually tie the record. So yeah, we basically had two women tie the record, and like for the woman, in like the span of like, the 5 seasons before 50. So that's amazing.
yeah.
So with that in mind, I think it's my fourth pick, and it's really hard because I don't think there's like anyone to pick from the 30s, so I'm not going to get much 30s reps for the woman. I think the same thing for the 20s. So I'm trying to think of who else I can pick that hasn't been already picked, because I think we have 6 picks on the board of the potential 12, so we're halfway through. I really want to pick this woman before she goes off the board because I know she's on your list. I know she's going to be probably like your next pick. It's a very strong player from a very recent season. And even she was even on a recent season, but her winning season, people basically referred to her as like not like an ice queen, but I know some people basically almost refer to her as a new era Boston Rob at one point. And that is D from Survivor 45. And these, again, one of my all-time favorite winners. I do know she's been in controversy outside the game. I don't care. Like, you're gonna pitch at her, but you're not gonna pitch at the guy for it. Like, come on, grow up. Dee's a great player, and like she's great TV. She will fight with people. She will say cutthroat stuff. She'll be entertaining and funny. She'll like Jam Jam. She'll play the damn game and just have fun with it. With D as well, it's just she's again someone who I really could see having a lot of potential. I know all winter season, I think she blends in a lot better than she did on 50, being one of only 3 winners. And I do think there's an opportunity for her to actually be able to like play the fucking game. Like again, 50, they didn't let the players play the game. I think in a winners at war type season, I would hopefully let the winners play the game. But I do think D is someone who is just a fun player all around, and I would love to see her back at some point. So D is my 4th pick. Aleks, who's your 4th pick?
Yeah, I did leave her off because I knew you'd pick her. So. Yeah. So.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go for another new era player who, again, kind of played the game kind of like Rachel a bit. She was very slippery when she had to kind of sink under and kind of attack when she needed to. I'm picking Kenzie from 46. Again, kind of the same architect like player as Rachel, but like she again with her flop tribe she was on, she kind of was the nucleus keeping it all together. She knew when to keep Banu and when to let him go. She knew that she can have a hand on cue when she needed to, and her and Tiffany really did a good job kind of controlling that tribe. And then even come merge, she did a really good job just kind of being under the radar, just kind of having bonds with a lot of people on both of their 2 tribes, and just kind of again just doing what you need to do to win. But yeah, Kenzie is my next pick, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's a solid pick. I feel like people very much underestimate Kenzie as a player because of the fact that like she didn't get the edit that I really say she got the best edit probably for someone in her position, but like I really do think that like she's a really fun player of the game. So like I love seeing Kenzie back at one point, but my next pick is going to be a pretty obvious pick for a lot of people, and I really do think she's a solid player. And I think it's just unfortunate she ended up in a season that was really just not the best, or at least not regarded as one of the best seasons. And my next pick is Marianne. Marianne is, again, one of my all-time favorite players. She's just, I literally have people come up and, like, I had friends of mine for Survivor Whitewater. For those of you who've ever watched Survivor Whitewater, it's an LRG that took place in Wisconsin. It's now rebranded to Survivor Wisconsin. But between the transition for Whitewater to Wisconsin, we did this thing where people compared players in that series to CBS players. And I randomly got compared to Marianne. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because like Marianne is just such a fun character. She'll get wacky. She'll just say the thing. She'll say for the plot. Like, and she'll just have so much fun in the game. And she also loves the game so much and is willing to like cut people. She's willing to be the lovable person that honestly made 42 as fun as it was. Like, is 42 one of the best seasons? No. But I do think 42 was a fun season, in part because Marianne is such a great winner. She has, again, another one of the masterclass final tribals. Someone who walks in underestimated, people think she's just not going to win, and then she ends up getting a lot of people to vote for her at the last second. Like, Marianne is a very impressive player, where I think, honestly, and for those of you who don't know, Andy from 47 and Marianne from 42 were supposed to be on 50. At the last second, got cut in favor of Savannah and Rizzo. And I mean, I really kind of wish we would have seen Marianne. No shade to Savannah, But I really wish we would have seen Marianne, just because, again, like, we hadn't seen Marianne in so long, and like, I'm hoping we get to see her again soon. Marianne and Savannah actually both being on my tribe. I just realized that'd be funny, actually. Um, but yeah, Marianne is just such a fun character and is such a fun player, and I really do think that she should be back soon, and I'm hoping she will be. And so that is my second to last pick. There are 3 picks left on the board. Aleks, who's your next pick?
Now we're kind of getting on to the people I don't want to pick.
I feel like I know who you're gonna pick next.
Probably not. You know, you know, her win was good. It was a good win. Is it the best win we've seen? Not at all. But she needed, but with the cast she had, she did a good job of kind of navigating a lot of the big characters and kind of doing what she needed to do to win. I'm picking Aubrey from our latest season, 50.
Okay, I was wrong then. I thought you were going a whole different route with that explanation.
No. I already know who you're picking already. But yeah, you know, Aubrey did what she needed to do to win. Was it flashy? No. Was it entertaining? At times, yes. But again, with a cast full of characters, you kind of have to be the person who is not that flashy to win the game. And that and again, to see her, play one last time, maybe, on a full winners cast would be kind of fun to see. Like she would get along with Cochran, she would get along with Earl probably as well. So she would do a good job kind of blending in with a good alliance that again my team orchestrated. So yeah, I just think recent winner. I feel like it should be, she knows what she needs to do to win now, and who knows.
There we go. I wouldn't unmute for me for a second. But yeah, no, Aubrey I think is a solid pick. I think the only thing that bogs Aubrey down for me is the fact that she again, it's 50. I don't think 50 is a good season. But we'll talk about 50 in a we'll talk about 50 in a few minutes. My final pick, and I was convinced that you were actually right about the takers, so that's why I was so shocked. My final pick from the woman is going to be Erica from Survivor 41. And I do think Erica's, again, a solid player with a shit edit. Survivor 41, I think, is one of the worst seasons because of the edit. They focus so much on these dumb twists. They prop up Xander far more than they should have, because Xander from X Game Press was never winning the game. The jury did not respect him. And they really try to put him in high regards, and Erica and Heather low-key ran parts of the game, according to a lot of stuff even stuff in the show, where like Heather, I think, if I recall correctly, Heather and Erica were a large reason why people like Nasir won in the game at one point. There's a lot of stuff Heather did, like blindsiding Tiffany by like saying like, no, you're safe, and then she wasn't. But Erica really is a solid player who just should have been brought back at some point. And I really hope Erica's brought back. She's a very fun player to watch when she's giving content. So, and Erica being that lamb to lion storyline, I think it'd low-key be like the Michelle storyline of a Winners at War 2. Like, Erica's primed for this type of season. It's literally there waiting for her. So, Erica is my final pick, and Aleks, I think you kind of only have one pick left. If you want
last and least, yes. I said last and least.
Oh, come on! Don't.
I get to pick Natalie White.
Don't do that. Are you gonna just shit on her the entire time?
No, I'm not gonna shit on her.
Okay.
The edit didn't favor her at all. And she could do good on an all winners cast, just because everybody's gonna, think, oh, it's Natalie White. But yeah, like, who really knows what could be done if she gets a return back into the game? She knows what to do to win. Just kind of, literally ride Amicho to the end of the game and make bonds with everybody in the game. And yeah, Richie, why didn't you pick Natalie White?
Why didn't I?
Yeah, why didn't you pick
Because I
Natalie White?
wanted Erica, and because I was convinced you were going to pick Savannah, and because we agreed I was the one who had to pick someone who played the original Winners at
Oh yeah,
War.
but no, she was on the board for the whole time, you know?
Yeah, I thought you were going to steal Erica, and I wanted to guarantee Erica's on my tribe because I also think Erica and Natalie White are in very similar positions where they don't get as much respect for the wins as they should. I think both play really good games for the cast they're given and the situations they were put in. And then it's just unfortunate that both were given just shitty edits because they wanted to focus on a runner-up they just liked more. Again, I think I mentioned this the last I think the last live stream we did where it was me and Stibe for the 50 finale. We even talked about this where I do think a lot of the seasons where a woman wins, the story is typically why did the second place man lose rather than why did the woman win. And I've even kind of noticed this a lot more. And it's very obvious in seasons like 41 and Samoa where that edit is kind of just the norm for that, which is very unfortunate because I think Natalie White has very great social maneuverability in Samoa. And same thing with Erica in 41 that they just didn't want to show. Because we just had to see do or die. We just had to see the journeys. We had to see I'm tired. I'm a little under the weather, so I can't think of any sarcasm. But those are our woman picks. Aleks, anything else you want to say before our next segment? Excuse me.
My team's better than yours.
Bitch. My team would
I got the John Cochran.
What?
I got the John Cochran on my team, mind you.
And I got the Tina Wesson, mind you. I got the JT, mind you.
No. That's where you lose me.
I got the Todd Herzog, mind you.
Yeah, I got the Earl.
I got the
All right, next segment.
Yeah, next segment. So I want to do kind of a fun thing with our picks, and this is a mini game we did last week. And we will do something like this regarding what we did last week as well, because you weren't there for the last one. But it's a mini game we did last week of kind of determining out of all of our picks we've had, how likely we think our picks on our tribes are going to be to come back into the game. So we can just focus on our tribes and go one by one, or we could go through just each and every name on our picks and just briefly go through them, just like a quick yes or no and why possibly to it. So,
yeah.
do you want to do just all of them one by one and just briefly go through them, or?
Yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with your tribe first for the men. Cochran, right. How likely?
Probably
yeah,
not.
I think he said he's done, which is unfortunate, but I'd love to see Cochran back. Earl, I do think Earl might come back. They clearly want him. He wants it. It's kind of like it's just one of those situations where he wants to come back and play. Just every single time something bogs him down, or I shouldn't say bog him down because the last time it was his kid, so I shouldn't say it like that. But like, yeah, I think Earl. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, like I think he wanted him back for 40.
They wanted him back too. So like, yeah.
So like, I could totally see him playing again if they want him back for a season.
Hatch. Yeah. I don't think Richard Hatch is coming back.
Well, he did play, other games recently, so
House of Villains
he might be in that mindset, like, oh, let me hop back, let me hop back on Survivor one last time.
I think it's unlikely only because of certain events that happened before the original Winners at War. That's what makes me question if they would actually bring him back, because he wasn't even invited to the reunion thing.
Well, yeah, because Jeff hates him.
Jeff hates everyone we like.
That's true. But yeah, in a universe, yes, yes, I could see it, but right now, Jeff's just stubborn, so I guess not.
Next up is Mike Holloway, and I don't think he's coming back because he's vocally said on Twitter recently he didn't want to come back, and he was kind of dramatic in the post, making it sound like he was about to die or something. I don't know if he is gonna die. He made it sound like he was about to, and I was like, okay, is he actually dying or is he just being dramatic? Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Like, I hope he's okay, but I think he just made it very vocal, and the fact that they were willing to cut him for 40 at the last second just kind of showed they didn't really respect him, unfortunately. So I think not. Aleks, what do you think for Mike Holloway?
I feel like given the circumstance of a new Winners at War depends. Kind of, I'm going based off like if you know the person thinks, oh yeah, this is a great season that I can play in for like a last run. I can see Mike Holloway saying yes to it.
That's fair. Actually, I could see that too.
I
Tom,
got yeah.
no, sorry, I didn't know you were about to go through say
It's
it.
fine. Honestly, I'm putting it in the perspective of like this is when Winners at War 2
Right.
is a huge season. I feel like people would want to hop on a season like this.
That's fair. With Tom Westman, I don't know. He's really a 50-50 because I feel like they
Yes,
low-key
yeah.
want him. I feel like I don't think like production has beef with him. I think he might not be the biggest name just because of the fact that it's been so long since he played. And when he did get a second run, he was out very early on. But he was a big winner back in the day, but it's also he is on the older side. So would they be willing to cast him without worrying about like the age factor of it? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
But like I do see it 50-50 because I do think even like they know um that Tom was and still kind of is a big name in the Survivor community. So it's
True. A
like
lot of the Facebook moms love him. Come on.
oh, Facebook moms, oh
Gotta
my
think, yeah,
god.
gotta think with the Facebook moms. They love him.
They were
So
so happy with Survivor 50. Did you know that? Sarcasm aside. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think it's likely or
again, given the season, I think I, did they reach out to him for the first Winners at War? Do we know that?
I think I heard he was cut because at the time he had some health issues going on, I think is
Ah,
what I
okay.
heard.
But
Unless
yeah,
I'm thinking the
I
wrong
feel like they would.
but
I feel like they would reach out. Again, it's 50-50. I feel like you're right on that. It's 50-50.
yeah. And Aris. I think Aris, I don't know. I want to say Aris isn't likely because I heard he and Jeff did not have the best relationship for years. But he was the one of the winners. There were not all the winners were given an
Yeah.
invite for the Survivor 50 reunion. Aris was one of the ones who got the invite and was there.
Hmm. I
So
feel like yeah. Just
I actually don't know. I think it's 50-50 now at this point.
yeah.
Because again, if you asked me like a year ago, I would have said hell no. But if you ask me now, I actually think there might be a small chance that CBS would override Jeff and say like Ozzy in Game Changers, override Jeff and be like, no, he's going on regardless of what you want. So I actually don't know. I think it's 50-50 with Aris
I feel
actually.
like it's a higher chance. Again, it's Winners at War. I feel like you've got to get him on.
Right. Um Todd from Survivor China. I think it's likely. I mean, I don't know. I want to say 50-50, but I think it's a little bit more likely than not. They did cut him claiming like health issues, even though it wasn't in original Winners at War. But I think since then, Todd has had a lot of like popularity spread because I think he's done started like a podcast with
Yep.
Leslie from Survivor China as well, who I also really like Leslie. It's actually changed a lot since Survivor China, I think, but she may have changed a bit since Forever China, not a lot, but like I mean, I still wouldn't mind seeing Leslie come back on a second chance. But Todd and Leslie run a podcast about Survivor, and like I think they're both really fun. Like I think like with Todd having a bigger, like, I mean, he's become so popular, even like new people recognize him in an instant. So like I think it's likely Todd's gonna be back. I would put my money more on it than against it. So what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I think just because like he's kind of tapped in with the community, I think they would for sure say yes to him, and I feel like Todd would also feel like yes, I want to do one more run. I don't say anything against it.
I love Todd. I hope he comes back. Chris Daughtery in Vanuatu. I think it's 50-50. And to be fair, Jeff doesn't hate him anymore, and he actually did apologize for how he acted him in the Vanuatu reunion. But the thing that gets me is really, I know the last time Chris Daughtery, I don't know how to say his last name, so my bad. I must. I do think he wants to play. He did get the call. He wanted to play. I think he just had some health issues that came up at the time. And I think he actually ended up improving on like after the game ended. But like I think he wants to play. The issue I think comes down to how, because he is an older school winner. So at this point, like, are they going to lean more new era than like old school? I don't really know because by the time they do Winners at War 2, I don't know. I mean, he could be like 70 by that point. That time they do it. I don't know. I'd love to see Chris Daughtery back, but it's more of I'm just not sure how likely it is they would cast him over someone like a Tom Westman, an Earl Cole, other people we'll talk about later. So that's my only, or any other guy that comes after him. So it's really more of how likely would it be if there are other options on the board. And I just question if production would lean other options. But what do you think for Chris D?
Yeah, it's 50-50. I feel like, again, he's a bit older, but also, he still has only played once. And I feel like, if he wants to play and if the Prussian people think, yes, let's get him in here, it's got to all be kind of circumstance wise, but I feel like, yes.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Fabio from Nicaragua. I don't even think Fabio was at that 50 reunion. I don't know. Like,
he's very forgotten. That's why.
What?
He's very forgotten as a winner.
I feel like it's I don't think it's impossible for Fabio to come back.
No, he's still younger.
But,
he's still on the younger side.
Like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. It's just more of, is it likely? No. But is it impossible? No. I'd say maybe like 20% likely. But like, I mean, I lean unlikely. But what do you think, Alex?
I feel like his best chance was to actually be back on Winners at War 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still younger. So like, again, he would have done better than Nick.
Yeah, why do we have Nick on Winners at War? Jeffrey, yeah. Why?
Yeah. But I feel like the time is missed for Fabio to be back on.
Yeah.
But who knows? Surprises are always happening there at CBS.
That's
good
true.
and bad.
Let's hope it's good for the near future.
Yeah.
Jam, I think it's very likely. I don't even think we really have to like. I'd be shocked. I think it's 100% very likely he will be back at some point in the future. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. I don't even think unless there's something you think you want to end up with it.
No, he's like probably almost certain to be back in the future.
Chris Underwood, I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, he was there for the reunion.
Yeah.
And I think, Oppression does like him as a player, so I feel like for sure certain. Of course, he goes on 40.
Well, actually, that was I think that was partially his call and partially CBS's, because Winners at War started filming like less than 2 weeks after his win was revealed, and I think he was also on his honeymoon at the time, so I think it was partially a schedule thing for him. He was given the call though, so
yeah. I feel like he'll be on for sure.
I'd love to see him on.
Yeah.
JT from Tocantins. I know people are going to laugh about it because of what I just said before. I think it actually is 50-50 with JT. They know he's like he already cemented his legacy in. He's helped make like some of the biggest moments in Survivor history. And with JT as well, I think they'd be more. I think like a lot of time has passed. I don't know if it's enough to like erase their hesitation or annoyance with how he bought drugs on the pre-jury trip. But like, I think maybe unless he got into that much legal trouble in Fiji, I think there's a chance they would at least consider him and be like, hey, enough time has passed. Maybe we need to just give him a chance and say like, hey, like, don't do this again, or we're not bailing you out. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I could see a world where JT comes back. I think it's just a little rarer than some of the other names. So I think it's maybe like 60-40 or 40-60. Not 40-60, I want to say, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I just think it's a little unlikely, but maybe closer to 50-50. So
yeah, same.
Danny from Guatemala, I don't know, because she was very stubborn on coming back. I feel like it's, again, not out of the realm of possibilities, just kind of like one of the other guys we were talking about. I think it's more of like a 20 to 30% chance, because she didn't really cement her legacy in Winners at War, unfortunately. So if they do Winners at War and she like emails them or texts them like, hey, I want in now, like, because if they do it's like right now, like they wouldn't have a lot of women to pick from.
Yeah.
But I don't know, actually they probably would call Sandra again for that. But Danny, yeah, Danny is someone who, again, I'd like to see back. Would they want to see her back? I don't know. What do you think with Danny?
Yeah, no, she ain't coming back. I can't see it.
Savannah from 49. I think she'll come back.
Yep, that's the no
Yeah.
doubter.
Tina Wesson. I think she might come back. I think it's gonna be like a Colby type of thing. I think she'll be back for one last hurrah season, like very close down the line, and then we'll probably never see her again. So I'd be
Yeah.
shocked because I think everyone was pissed that she didn't come back. She was also given an invite for the reunion as well. So
Yeah.
D, I think D will definitely be back. I think the season
Probably one more time. Yeah.
Yeah, probably at least guaranteed one more shot because again,
Yeah.
like she's a fan favorite. Like everyone likes her. Like so.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne, she was almost on 50 and they cut her last second, which does kind of make me. It was more so in favor of two people they had just seen in 49, so it wasn't really anything she did wrong. But I don't know. Marianne, I do think is guaranteed to come back at some point down the line. Though I'd be shocked again, like Jam Jam. I'd be more shocked that she doesn't come back within the next like 10 to 15 seasons. So, what do you think for Marianne?
Yeah, I feel like she's a guaranteed spot if they do like a new era All Stars, or if they do anything, I feel like a guaranteed like call. Yes. Um, yeah, I feel like she would for sure do an all winter season. She would for sure do an all star season. She would for sure do a second chance. No, sorry, not a second chance season. She would do a themed season around returnees. So I feel like because she was also there at the reunion, so they do like her. So
Yeah. Erica. I forgot if Erica was at the reunion or not. I think they've probably like not full on changed her tune with her over the years, but I do think that she's liked enough to where I think she's at least liked enough by a fan base, and I assume even productions probably like realize like we gave her a shit edit. I don't know if it guarantees her a chance to come back, but I mean I think at one point she will be back. She has like a Michelle Fitzgerald-esque storyline in the next season she plays. So like I think
yeah,
they might look at that and be like, hey, like she's a better player than we give her credit for. So I think Erica will eventually be back. I think it's really more of like a 70-30 situation. I think she'll be back. It's just more of it's just more of what season would it be, which like it could be like 30 seasons down the line. It could be 50 seasons down the line. It could be like 2 seasons down the line, probably no. It's more of with people like Marianne and Dee, we know they're going to be back in the near future. With someone like an Erica, we really don't know the when. So I don't know. I think she probably will be back in the future, but I just really don't know.
yeah.
All right. Next up, Vesupia.
It really depends.
I want to see her back. It's just more of will Jeff finally recognize that she should have already gotten a call back and just bring her back on? Like, I mean, I think it's like, unfortunately, especially with the fact that she's now in her 60s, I think it's 30% likely, which is unfortunate. But like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. I think it just depends. So,
yeah, same. Yeah.
Jenna from the Amazon. I don't know. I want to initially say no, like she probably wouldn't because they were initially really mad that she quit. But I also think they've turned around on her.
I feel like they would want her, but she would not just because of the impact from her past like 2 seasons actually.
That's fair. I don't think it's
for the editing style in Amazon was awful.
Yeah. Well, I heard. Well, they edited it in a weird way because someone spoiled the entirety of the Amazon online, and they were trying to like disprove that Jenna won throughout the season by shitting on her, which just didn't end well for Jenna. But I just don't know. I think it's unlikely, unfortunately, but I'd love to see a Jenna return at some point.
Yeah.
Rachel, I think she'll be back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think this is really. I don't think this is
about that one.
attention.
No. she's very involved in the community, and yeah.
Yeah. Kenzie is 50-50. I think it
Yeah.
depends on the reputation, or not the reputation. It depends on, like, she has an interesting reputation in Survivor history, but she's not unliked. She was given an invite to 50 reunion. She wasn't able to attend because obviously she's had like 2 kids since then. So like, or I know she's had 1 kid. I forgot if she had the second one, but she's had kids since then. So she wasn't able to like leave her kids to like for the reunion, even though I think it doesn't sound like she wasn't like uninterested, but it'd be a question mark if she's willing to come back, because I know people were horrible to her after 46 ended, where they come to her workplace, start harassing her. She was receiving harassment online. I don't know if she received threats at one point, but I know
Yeah,
it
it was
got
more
to the
about,
point.
yeah, goes Charlie not winning and
Yeah,
just see, yeah.
yeah, because they just, yeah.
Yep.
I feel bad. I hope Kenzie comes back because I'd love to see Kenzie come back, and she's a great TV character. I hope we do see her back on our screen someday. Just, yeah. Um, Aubrey on Aubrey. I don't
Nope.
think I think she knows she's not. I think maybe if it's Winners at War 2, then maybe she would consider it if they don't have a lot of legacy name winners. But like, I think even Aubrey's correctly identified. Like, this was her last hurrah. This was her, like, she's not
Yeah.
going to want to ruin her storyline by coming back and like losing again. So, what do you think?
Yeah. No, I can't see her coming back. I just can't.
Natalie White, I think it's unlikely. I think she's
Nope.
one of the few people I would 100% say it's 0% on the board. Production didn't really seem to care about her during the game, and Natalie's just gone off the face of the earth. And
Yeah.
I don't even think people even recognize, like, people don't even know where the hell she's at, like, these days, which is unfortunate because I really think Natalie White deserves a lot more respect as a winner. At least enough respect to say, like, yeah, she won. Like, at least give her that respect. Like, regardless of how you feel about Natalie versus Russell, she won, and a lot of the people that bitch about her haven't even been on Survivor. So,
Yeah.
and then rapid fire, because Steve and I did this last week, and I do want to do this with you as well. Rapid fire, same game, but with the Survivor 50 cast. You don't have to go through anyone who was on 50 that we just talked about, but just you can rapid fire if you want, just like yes or no for each player. If you think they'll be back in the future from 50. So, Jenna.
No.
Kyle.
Yep.
I'm trying to look at, make sure I don't say a name we already talked about. So, oh, we already did talk about her. We already talked about Savannah. Q.
Yep, for sure.
Mike White.
No, because he's too popular now, and with his show, he will not come back.
Okay. Just let me look up to make sure I have the right order. Oh wait. Hang on, sorry, my freaking. Here we go. Angelina.
No, she's done.
Charlie.
Yes, one more time, possibly.
Let me find it. Camilla.
Yes, definitely.
Genevieve.
Maybe one more time. Maybe it's got to be a right circumstance season.
I will say, Sam and I talked about it last week. She did say the only time she would come back would be Blood versus Water 3 because her husband, Mark, really wants to play.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, again, right circumstance. She'll come back.
And production really likes her, so.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Colby.
No.
We already talked about the Chrissy.
No, she's done.
Coach.
This one's interesting, actually. I don't know.
Yeah,
because he again very involved with Survivor and everything around it. He's still I that's hard. I can't see him coming back, but yeah, I can't.
he also did say he was retiring like Brett Favre right before 50 filmed. So yeah.
It's,
Uh,
it's still kind of 50-50 right now with me with him playing again. Like I can see Jeff bringing him along one more time later, like in like 5 years maybe, but not right now.
yeah. Christian
Yes, I can see him coming back one more time. He has unfinished business
with Jimmy Fallon or with Jeff Probst?
with both of them probably at this point.
Rival season, and his rivals just like
Yes,
Jimmy Fallon and like half the production team, just like
a cardboard cutout of Jimmy Fallon. He has to just walk along with the beach with him.
the cardboard cutout somehow wins against him in the final tribal.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Stephanie,
No.
Emily,
Yeah. Yes, I can see her coming back one more time potentially.
Ozzy,
No.
Devins,
Yes.
Surrey.
After all they did for her during the finale, like the reunion, I can't see her coming back. It was kind of like the final, like hoorah for her. So
Yeah.
no.
Tiffany,
Oh yeah, definitely,
Rizzo,
definitely, yes.
Joe.
No, they won't.
Really? Okay,
I
that's
can't bring him back
surprising.
for us.
Actually, we were talking last week, and I was worried that they're probably going to bring him back at some
I
point.
can't see him because he doesn't. His gameplay is the same every time.
That's true.
The other thing was like with Johnson, he changed up his gameplay a bit more. So that's why they might bring Jonathan back, which I knew you had to go to next. I
Yeah, I
can
was
see him
wondering
bringing him back because he actually changed his gameplay style from his first season to his next one. So I can see him bringing him back one more time. Unfortunately,
all right, that took care of the next one. Actually, and Jonathan, so that's good.
yeah.
I know we've talked briefly about 50, but any general thoughts you have on Survivor 50 that you want to say now that we finally have you back on?
Ready for it to be in the past.
Any any quick rankings, because we also did a brief ranking like 1 through 10 out of it, like 10 being good, 1 being shit.
Oh, I would say 6.
Okay, yeah, I think Stive and I ranged about like around 5 to 6 as well. So like
Yes,
or 4,
it's
5 to
not
6, yeah.
it's not the greatest, but again, character wise, had a lot of good moments. Minus Zach Brown.
I remember when we saw that in Pop and
Everybody
Pop
hated
in
it.
Milwaukee, and like I remember, I think I went to the bathroom at one point, came back, and it was still like the Zach Brown reward, and I was like,
Yep.
what? Like, but yeah. So I think that's it. We there's really not many questions we're gonna have with this one, but we may try to do some more fun stuff in the future. I'm hoping to do some more fun stuff this summer, catch up on some stuff. I am still unfortunately working on the Survivor 43 last what ifs, and we're hopefully gonna try to figure out some Survivor 42 what ifs. We might have a different format of doing what ifs in the future, just because of the fact that a lot of life circumstances are kind of making it a little harder for me to do as many posts as I've been wanting to do. So I might think of a different way to do more stuff in the future to answer what if questions and to keep it going and a lot faster of a pace. But I've been struggling with the last 43 what if because of how many like variables there are to it. So, but other than that, I want to thank everyone for watching this today. It's been such a fun time. Aleks and I have been wanting to do this one for literally the last like 7 to 8 months running now. Like we've been wanting to do this one for so long, and just we're glad we finally got to do this one. So, and just a reminder for people, we will hopefully be doing a lot of fun stuff this summer on this channel. We will be doing Survivor 51 coverage and breakdowns like we did last season. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, Aleks, we can get you for at least 1 or 2 of them, possibly. We have a lot of fun stuff we're going to be doing. Also, Survivor Wisconsin is airing out its 11th season. I think they've already released it on Instagram that it's the first time they're doing 3 tribes in about. I know everyone is sick of 3 tribes, but Survivor Wisconsin has only done 3 tribes a few times way in the past, like before it got rebranded to Wisconsin. So season 11 of Survivor Wisconsin's airing soon. Queer Survivor Midwest is casting. I'm gonna link the application link down in there later today. And Challenge Wisconsin 3 is casting. And the Challenge Wisconsin Season 2 live reunion is going to be tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. If you want to watch that, see the results of the fan votes, go tune into that later tonight at Challenge Wisco. Yeah, we're really glad that everyone came out tonight to watch this, or came out today to watch this, and I'm very excited to be seeing y'all in about 5 hours on the other channel for Challenge Wisconsin. So thank you everyone for watching. I've been your host, Richie, today. I've been here with my great, wonderful, awesome, great, beautiful co-host.
I've been Alex.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Adios, amigos.